So in the previous videos, we have discussed the concept of game theory, and we also looked into how we solve a two-person zero-sum game using the minimax maximum principle, and also using we also looked into how we solve games that have no saddle points, that cannot be solved using the minimax maximum principle by the method of mixed strategy. Now we'll move on to the next technique of solving a game, that is the dominance property. So first let me give you the brief idea about the concept of dominance property. If a payoff matrix in a payoff matrix, it is sometimes found that one of the pure strategies of either player is always inferior to at least one of the remaining ones. The superior strategies are then said to dominate the inferior ones. So in a payoff matrix, it is sometimes seen that the payoff from the elements of one particular strategy, all the elements of one particular strategy, in fact, can have a higher payoff than the corresponding elements of the other strategy. Let us consider if there are two strategies for player A, that is A1 and A2, then the strategy, sometimes it can happen that the strategy A1, all the elements of the strategy A1 have higher payoffs than the corresponding elements of strategy A2. In that case, we say that the strategy A2 is inferior to strategy A1, and that strategy A1 is dominant to strategy A2. In that case, the player A has no incentive in choosing strategy A2 over strategy A1. Player A will always go on to choose strategy A1 since all the payoffs for strategy A1 are higher than the payoffs of strategy A2. So that way, by eliminating the inferior strategies, what we can do is we can reduce the size of the payoff matrix, and perhaps uh, subsequently also solve the game by consecutively eliminating the strategies one by one. So let us see into a few examples to grasp the concept more clearly. So here we have given an example. So there are two players, player A and player B. Player A has two strategies, A1, A2. I forgot to messed up here. I didn't write A1, A2. You please add A1 and A2 here by yourself. And player B has three strategies, B1, B2, B3. Now we are also given the payoff 10, 8, 6, 5, 12, 2. As we have already discussed for the 2% zero sum game, this is the payoff matrix of player A. That is, this matrix gives us the payoff of player A. So what will be the payoffs of player B? We have already discussed that the payoffs of player B will be the exact negative values of these values. The payoffs of player B will be the exact negative values of these values. So since so the evidently the payoff of player A is 10, 8, 6, 5, 12, 2, and the payoff of player B will be exact negative of these values, that will be minus 10, minus 8, minus 6, minus 5, minus 12, minus 2. For player A, evidently the higher the value shown here, the higher will be the payoff. But since for player B the payoffs are negative of these values, so the higher the values shown here, the lower will be the payoff for player B. Since 10 here means a payoff of minus 10 to player B, and 8 here means a payoff of minus 8 to player B. So if we compare between 10 and 8 here, the payoffs of player B will be minus 10 and minus 8. And since minus 8 is higher than minus 10, so minus 8 will have give player B a higher payoff than minus 10. So the value 8 here will have a higher payoff for player B than the value 10 here. So lower the value in the payoff matrix, the higher will be the payoff for player B, and higher the value in the payoff matrix, the higher will be the payoff of player A. Now to solve this using, first of all, let me tell you, for any given question, what will you first do? You will first try to see if you can use the minimax maximin principle to solve the game. If you cannot use the minimax maximin principle, you will then go on to use the dominance strategy or the mixed strategies. Mixed strategies can only be used for 2 by 2 matrix. So if it is larger than 2 by 2 matrix, you will go on to solve it using the dominance property. So let us look at the solution. So first we'll copy down the payoff matrix as it is given. I have also added A1 A2 here, which was missing here. So now let us see, we have copied all the things as same as given here. So now let us try to compare between strategies A1 and A2. Now for strategy A1, the payoffs are 10, 8 and 6. And for strategy A2, the payoffs are 5, 12 and 2. As we have already discussed, the higher the value here, the higher will be the payoff for player A. So let us now compare between A1, A2 for each column. So for strategy A1 in the first column, for player A in the first column, strategy A1 has a higher payoff than strategy A2. Again, for the third column, strategy A1 has a higher payoff than strategy A2. But for the second column, strategy A1 has a lower payoff than strategy A2. That is to say, all the elements of A1 do not have a higher payoff than all the elements of A2. That is, A1 is not dominant to A2 because one of the values here is higher for strategy A2. So we cannot say that A1 is strictly dominant to A2. So since between A1 and A2 we cannot eliminate any strategy, we will now look into the strategies of B. So now let us compare between B3 and B2 first. We can compare between B1 and B2. Let us see. Okay, first let us compare between B1 and B2. Now for B1, the payoffs are 8 and 10 and 5, and for B2 the payoffs are 8 and 12. So for the first row, 10 is 8 will, since for player B we have already discussed, the lower the value shown here, the higher will be the payoff. 8 has a higher payoff than 10 here because it will be minus 8, this will be minus 10. So B2 has a higher payoff here than B1. But then for the second row, since this is smaller than this here, this will have a B1 will have a higher payoff than B2. So for one row, B2 has higher payoff, and for another row, B1 has higher payoff. So we cannot decide between B1 and B2 who has a which strategy is dominant. So we don't have a strictly dominant strategy between B1 and B2. Now let us compare B2 and B3. Now for the first row, if you see, minus this will be minus 6, this will be minus 8. Minus 6 is bigger than minus 8, so this will have a higher payoff than this. So B3 will have a higher payoff than B2, and again since this is smaller than this, B3 will again have a higher payoff than B2. So here between B3 and B2, if you see, all the elements of B3 have a higher payoff than all the elements of B2. So we can say that B3 is dominant to B2. So B3 is dominant to B2. B2 is eliminated. What we do? We we have striked it off with a pencil, notifying that it has been eliminated. Now what remains? We are now remaining with B3, strategy B3 and strategy B1. Now here I have written for player B all the elements of B3 have higher payoff than corresponding elements of B2. Therefore B3 is dominant to B2, or B2 is dominated by B3. So B2 is eliminated. Now we'll compare, since we have B3 and B1 remaining, we'll compare between B3 and B1. Again, since between B3 and B1, the payoffs of 6, this will have a higher payoff than this, since this value is smaller than this. Its negative will be bigger than the negative of this. So this has a higher payoff than this, and this has a higher payoff than this, since 2 is again smaller to 5. Again you see that B3 dominates B1. Again, since B3 dominates B1, B1 is also eliminated. So we again strike it off with a pencil, showing that it is dominated. So what we are remaining with right now? We are remaining with, since B1 and B2 are eliminated, we are remaining with B3 of player A, player B I mean, B3 strategy of player B, and A1 and A2 strategy of player A. So the payoff matrix reduces to this form. So therefore the payoff matrix becomes player B, B3 is remaining, player A, A1 and A2 is remaining. The remaining payoffs are 6, 2. So we write 6 and 2 here. Now we compare between A1 and A2 strategies, A1 and A2. Since for A, player A, 6 will have a higher payoff than 2. Here strategy A1 will dominate strategy A1, since 6 is bigger than 2. Here strategy A1 dominates A2. Therefore A2 is eliminated. So A2 will be eliminated. You can strike it off with a pencil, or you can leave as it is. The final payoff matrix becomes, for player A it is A1, for player B it is B3. The remaining payoff is 6. So value of the game here is 6. Payoff of player A is 6. Payoff of player B is -6. The optimum strategy of player B is B3, and the optimum strategy of player A is A1. So this is how we have solved a game using dominant strategy. Let us look at another example. So solve the game here. Given player B, player A has A1, A2, A3, A4, player B has B1, B2, B3, B4, B5. Given are the payoffs here. Now for the solution, we first copy down the payoff matrix. Now if you first compare between the different elements of uh, different strategies of player A, that is A1, A2, A3, A4, for all the pair of strategies, if you compare between A1, A2, some elements are higher for one strategy and some elements are higher for the other strategy. So you cannot you will not be able to find a dominant strategy for player A. So if you cannot find a dominant strategy for the player A, what you do, you move on to player B. So let us first see, for A1 2 is higher than 4, but it is less than 5. So here we know that we don't have a dominant strategy between A1 and A2. Again let us compare A1 and A3. 2 is smaller than 7, 4 is smaller than 6, 3 is smaller than 8, but 8 is bigger than 7. So here again we don't have a strictly dominant strategy between A1 and A3, and likewise if you see compare among different strategies, you will find that there are no dominant strategies as per now between the strategies available to player A. Now let us move to player B. So let us first compare between B1 and B4. Yeah, B2 is smaller than 8. I mean 2 is smaller than 8. 4 is smaller than 6. 7 is equal to 7. 3 is smaller than 4. Since the elements of B1 are less than or equal to the elements of B4, B1 is dominant to B4. So since all the elements of B1 are smaller than all the elements of B4 or equal to it, player B will have no incentive to play strategy B4 over strategy B1. Then given to choose between strategy B1 and B4, player B will always go on to play strategy B1. Therefore what happens? Strategy B4 gets eliminated. So B4 is eliminated. Now let us again compare between B1 and B5. Again, if you see 2 is smaller than 5, 4 is smaller than 7, 7 I'm sorry, I'm not comparing B1 with B5 here. Uh, if you compare between B1 and B5, you see that there is no dominant strategy between B1 and B5. So what we want to do, we try to compare with it with some other strategy. Let us now compare it with B2. Since between B1 and B5 there is no dominant strategy, let us compare between B2 and B5. So 4 is smaller than 5, 5 is smaller than 7, 6 is equal to 6 and 1 is smaller than 2. So since the elements of B2 are smaller or equal to the elements of B5, player B will not have any incentive to choose strategy B5 over strategy B2. So given the choice between B2 and B5, player B will always choose strategy B2. Therefore, B2 is dominant to B5 and hence strategy B5 gets eliminated. So B4 and B5 have got eliminated. So what we are remaining with? B1, B2 and B3. Now if you compare between B1, B2 and B3, you will again find there is no dominant strategy. So what we do? We move on with the payoff matrix that is remaining with us after eliminating B4 and B5. So we copy the payoff matrix as it is after eliminating B4 and B5. So we have player B, player A. For player A, A1, A2, A3, A4, player B, B1, B2 and B3, B4 and B5 have got eliminated. Now since between B1, B2 and B3, we couldn't find any dominant strategy, we will again move on to the strategies of player A and see if any strategy is dominant. Now let us compare between strategy A3 and strategy A1. Now you see 7 is bigger than 2, 6 is bigger than 4 and 8 is bigger than 3. So we can say that strategy A3 is dominant to strategy A1. So strategy A1 gets eliminated. Now let us again compare between strategy A3 and strategy A2. 7 is greater than 4, 6 is greater than 5, 8 is greater than 2. So A3 is dominant to A2, strategy A2 also gets eliminated. And finally we compare between A3 and A4. So 7 is greater than 3, 6 is greater than 1, 8 is greater than 7. So A3 is dominant to A4, so A4 also gets eliminated. So we are striking the eliminated strategies off. So now what we are remaining with is, for player B we are remaining with strategies B1, B2 and B3, and player A we are remaining with strategy A3. So now we will again compare between the strategies of player B. Since the strategy is B2 is lower than the the value of the payoff of the value of the B2 here is higher than the value of B1 here. So B2 will be dominant to B1. So B1 gets eliminated again. Since 8 is higher than 6, B3 also gets eliminated. So what we are remaining here with the final payoff matrix becomes player B, player A. The final strategies are here. We are remaining with A3 for player A and B2 for player B. Since all the other strategies are eliminated, so player A, player B, B2, A3, and the payoff here is 6. So we write 6 here. So optimum strategy of player A is A3 and the and of player B is B2. The value of the game is 6. Payoff of player A is 6 and the payoff of player B is -6. So this is how you solve a game using the dominant strategy. Now let us move on to another question that you will solve yourself. Solve the game. Player A, the strategies are A1, A2. Player B, the strategies are B1, B2, B3 and B4. So keep it in mind how you proceed. Refer to the examples I have discussed before to proceed with the sum. Always keep in mind, the higher the values in the payoff matrix, the higher will be the payoff for player A. The lower the values in the payoff matrix, the higher will be the payoff for player B. For this example here, after elimination of all the possible strategies, you will go on to remain with a 2 by 2 matrix which you cannot solve further. Then what will you do after that? Since you are remaining with a 2 by 2 matrix that you cannot solve further using the dominant strategy and it doesn't have any saddle point, you will solve it using mixed strategies after using the dominant strategy. So at the end, the 2 by 2 matrix you will solve by using the mixed strategy, the formula we have discussed earlier. So I hope you do it by yourself, and in case of any confusion at all, I hope you communicate to me via WhatsApp or call. Thank you.